fellow Toastmasters. Today, I'd like to remember and honor the life of Frank, the bearded dragon who brought so much joy and warmth to my life, despite being cold-blooded. Frank was not just a pet lizard. He was a cherished companion, a source of comfort, and an unexpected teacher of patience and understanding. I remember the day when I first laid eyes on Frank while scrolling through a bearded dragon breeder's website. There was something about his picture that immediately just captured my heart, and I absolutely knew that he was my dragon. I was very excited and very nervous because up until that point, my pets had all been mammals. Frank was my first reptile and my first experience with caring for a pet that was cold-blooded, and because of that, had specific care requirements. Despite all my research, I didn't know what to expect. However, once I got Frank and I sat on my bed holding him in my lap for the first time, whatever challenges I encountered from then on with him, it was going to be totally worth it. Frank was a chill lizard with a little bit of sass. He never bit, scratched, or whipped his tail at anyone. He was very tolerant of my mistakes as a novice reptile owner, very tolerant of me dressing him up in all sorts of weird costumes. And he never saw me or anyone else from day one as a threat. He was calm and accepting, but not a pushover. He had his way of asserting himself. Once, when he had playtime outside of his cage, one of my cats got past me and ran straight for Frank. I, of course, panicked, but Frank suddenly reared up on his left side, kind of like this, flattened out like a pancake, opened his mouth, flaring his little lizard beard, and just started dancing back and forth. And this whole display totally confused my cat, and the cat just kind of walked off like, I don't know anymore. And Frank plopped back down on the ground and acted like nothing happened, just kind of started wandering around the room again. He was cool like that. Frank was also a bit of a diva in the most frustrating and endearing ways. For instance, as adults, bearded dragons are supposed to be eating primarily greens. Frank did not get this memo and refused, no matter what combinations, and there were a lot of combinations of vegetables I tried to give him. He really loved his superworms. For as calm as he was, Frank also loved attention. At times, he demanded it. In the springtime, especially, when he was coming out of brumation, which is basically lizard hibernation, I knew he was awake when I would hear him pounding on the glass of his enclosure, wanting to come out and be catered to. In his younger years, Frank was quite curious and a bit of a little adventurer. He'd run in and out of rooms. He'd slide down stairs. He once pushed around a yoga ball just because he could. I don't know what the reasoning was, but it was cute. And he hated closed doors. Everything had to be open. He had to be able to see what was behind everything. The cat toys were his toys, and he loved climbing into boxes. I'd also take him outside and for just basking or to run errands with me. I even got him little harnesses, one with like dragon wings. It was cute. As he got older, he was less about the exploring and more about the sitting back and basking, but he never got tired of coming out and sitting with me. Having Frank in my life was such an amazing experience. He challenged me, but he also taught me patience. He brought me so much joy, and in my sadder moments, he brought me comfort. He taught me to appreciate all manner of animals, and I attribute him to my fascination with exotics and spiders. I have pet spiders now. I attribute that to him, just to have an open mind. He had so much personality in such a small, scaly package, and I will always miss him dearly. Rest in peace, my little sassy pants lizard.